Okay, I love how girls just use this as their diary and their little journals. That's what I'm gonna do. But I have been thinking, and I'm so single, like so incredibly single, it's not even funny. But I think that my future husband is not in the US. I think he's gotta be somewhere else. Because it just, the guys here are not it. They're not doing it for me. I don't know what's going on or how our values got so screwed up, but no. American men are not doing it for me. But then it's like, I guess I need to go somewhere else, maybe Europe or somewhere. Like, surely they have better men out there. This cannot be the dating pool everywhere. It can't be this bad, right? No. Mm-mm. So I gotta book a flight and I gotta go somewhere else to meet my future husband. He's probably like in Italy or something, like with his family, taking care of his nana or something. Like that, I don't even know. I don't know, but US men are not it. I gotta know. Like, especially since this is international right now, if you are in a different country and you're a girl and you know, like, what's it like? Are there good men out there? Do you know? Because it's not happening here in the States. It's just not. It's not it.
Here we go again. Another woman convinced her soulmate just happens to be overseas. It's almost funny how common this mindset is now. Whenever modern dating doesn't go the way they expect, the answer isn't reflection, it's relocation. I think my future husband's in Italy. Sure, because the men over there magically have better values, right? What she's really saying is, American men won't play the game the way I want anymore. The truth is, men didn't suddenly get worse. They just stopped auditioning for relationships that offer them nothing back. The values, she says, are gone. Those were built when men still had purpose and respect in relationships. And here's the irony. She says she wants a man who takes care of his family, his nana, his responsibilities. But she doesn't realize those same men exist everywhere. They're just not looking for someone who treats love like a travel destination. It's not that US men aren't it. It's that modern women keep looking for romance in a fantasy, instead of seeing the real men who stopped chasing validation long ago.
There's a good men epidemic right now, and we need to talk about it. Me, along with all of my friends, are all single. We have so many hobbies. We go to run clubs, the gym, social events. Like, we're out there. We're working, right? But every single time I meet a man who has anything interesting to say, he's always in a freaking relationship. So it's true. Where are the good men at? Where are y'all finding them? Because I can't find any.
This is the delusion epidemic in real time. She's out here saying there's a good men shortage, while admitting every good man she meets is already taken. Like that's not the answer staring her in the face. You're not missing the good men, you just waited too long, spent years working on yourself, having hobbies, being outside. And now all the men who built something real already got scooped up by women who weren't playing games. The truth is, the good men never disappeared. They just stopped entertaining women who thought they'd always have endless options. What she's really describing is a generation of women who thought independence would make them more desirable, when in reality, it just made them invisible to the kind of men they want. Because good men aren't hanging around waiting for validation. They're building, committing, and investing in peace. You can't say, we're working, we're out there, and still wonder why no one's picking you. The good men are out there. They're just not looking for someone who treats relationships like another hobby.
As a single woman, I'm getting a little worried when I scroll on this app that like all of the good single men, 30-year-olds and up, or near that range, they are, if they're single, they're staying inside and doing exactly what I would want to do, which is like binge a show and like order and take out. Like, why when I'm scrolling, I'm seeing all these like cute men who look like they have their head on their shoulders. They probably don't. Let's just be fucking real. But they're all like staying inside. Like, what I'm trying to do is text a girlfriend and be like, hey, you know what? Instead of me cuddling into bed and binging all of Real Housewives, let's go out. Because I'm just hoping that one day, like, I meet my husband, like, meet cute randomly. Like, I gotta go out and do that, right? I have to, like, actually put myself out there. I have to actually do my makeup and, like, put on a cute outfit and do that, you know? Crazy concept. But I have a fear that all of the good single 30-year-old men are doing the opposite. Hey, get out there. Please. Stop ordering takeout by your fucking self and wait for me to be there with you to do it, okay? Fuck, literally, I don't... Probably gonna run into a douchebag. Pray for me.
She's not describing a good men epidemic. She's describing the aftermath of one. The truth is, those so-called good men didn't vanish. They just stopped volunteering for rejection and emotional labor. While she's out there hoping to meet her husband by chance, those men already learned that peace at home beats chaos in the dating market. She imagines they're hiding, when in reality, they're recovering. They're building quiet, structured lives that don't revolve around chasing validation or proving their worth to someone who only notices once the thrill fades. It's almost poetic. She wants men to get out there, but out there is exactly what burned them out. The modern dating scene rewards flash, not substance, and when men chose to step back, women mistook that for absence. Now, as the noise dies down, she's realizing the silence is full of the very men she overlooked. The ones she wanted to stumble upon in a cute meet-cute montage are the ones who stopped playing background extras in her story. And that's the irony. The same guys she's begging to stop eating takeout alone used to offer to share meals with her. Back then, it wasn't thrilling enough. Now it's what she romanticizes. The good men epidemic isn't men disappearing. It's women finally noticing what's left when they stop chasing excitement and realizing peace doesn't chase back.
A quick question. Where are we meeting the men that actually want to date and be in a relationship? Because it's not the dating apps. It's not the coffee shops. I've been trying that. I've been trying that for a while now. Definitely not the bars. Not at my age, because they're all like 21, 22. So they definitely don't want to be in a relationship. And I definitely do not want to be a cougar. Nothing wrong with that. Just not my type. I, again, tend to go about 8 to 10 years older than me. I found out even those don't want to date for a relationship. Even they are still figuring things out. Yeah, they are. So where are we meeting the ones that want to date and be in a relationship? That want to date to eventually get into a relationship. That are dating to see if we're compatible for a relationship, not other things. No. I need to know, because I have yet to find them. And I've been looking, so maybe I should stop looking. I don't know. But if you know, please let me know. Help your girl out. Where are we meeting the good men? Where are we meeting the men that actually want to be in a real relationship? Let me know.
This is what happens when you spend years treating dating like a scavenger hunt instead of a partnership. You start asking where the good men are, like they're hiding in some secret clubhouse. She's been to the bars, the coffee shops, the dating apps, everywhere but the one place that actually matters. Real life with real accountability. Because the truth is, the men who do want relationships aren't hanging around waiting to audition for women who think commitment is a last-minute lifestyle accessory. They've already built something stable, and they're not trying to play therapist for someone who just realized she's tired of figuring things out. It's always the same story. I've tried everything, but men just don't want relationships. No, you've tried everything except becoming the kind of woman men want to build with. You're not supposed to meet good men like you're hunting Pokemon. You attract them by not wasting your best years chasing validation, partying, and then deciding it's time to settle down. The good men aren't gone. They're just done signing up to fix someone else's mistakes.
Okay, this may be a hot take, but I don't think single men come to Europe. Like, every good-looking guy I see is with a woman. They're taken. And I have yet to see a group of single, good-looking guys coming to Europe. And I think it's because men don't come here, like, in a group. I think it's a girl thing. I think it's only girls. Like, it's a girly girls trip. The only group of men I see are like European men, European groups of men. But even then, they're like, half of them are married. They're just coming to be together.
This is too far.
So it's interesting. I need to know where all the single men go.
Where do you vacation?
Yeah, like, help us out. We need to go
Why
where the
don't you
single hot men
vacation where
go.
I vacation?
She's realizing Europe is basically a girls' trip zone. But that's not because men disappeared. It's because men don't need to travel to find themselves. They're not flying to Italy for healing or wine and vibes. They're working, building, resting, doing things that don't end up on Instagram. Women keep asking where the men are, but maybe they're just not where you go to escape reality.
I'm gonna say it, and you're not gonna like what I have to say. You're not gonna like it, man. You're not gonna like it. Where are the real men at? I'm sick of it. They don't make men like they used to. I'm gonna say it loud and proud, because tell me why men these days, they don't want to do an oil change. They don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to do anything. If Google doesn't know, babe, they don't know. Tell me why my dad knows every single thing to do with his hands. I could ask my dad to literally build a bridge for me to get to the other side of the road. That man will do it within 1 hour. You ask a man this day and age, hey, can you tell me how to check my tire pressure? Yeah, let me Google that. What do you mean you have to Google it? What do you mean you have to Google it, man? What do you mean? You are a man. This is what you're built for, babe. This is what you're built for, and you don't even know how to check my tire pressure. Please. I'm sick of having men that don't know how to literally use their hands. I'm sick of it. Be a man!
It's wild how every "where are the real men" rant always ends up sounding like a complaint that her dad set the bar too high. What she's really mourning isn't a lack of masculinity. It's the loss of free labor disguised as romance. Her real men are basically mechanics, engineers, and emotional support systems rolled into one, except they're supposed to do it all while never asking for anything back. The generation that fixed cars and built bridges by hand didn't just appear out of nowhere. They were forced to survive with those skills. Today's men learn to survive by understanding systems, not engines. And that's the irony. She's saying, be a man, in an era where the definition keeps shifting. Her dad could build a bridge, sure, but he also came from a time when a man's worth was measured by how much he could endure, not how much he could feel. Modern men didn't lose that strength. They redirected it. They're fixing their finances, their boundaries, their peace. They're choosing therapy over tools, discipline over desperation. So no, it's not that men forgot how to use their hands. They just stopped offering them to anyone who mocks what they've become. If she really wants a man like her father, she'll need to live like her mother. And that's a bridge she's not willing to cross.
I figured it out. I know where all of the men who are seeking emotional connection and mental connection and spiritual connection are. Are you ready to hear where they are? They're at home. They're at the gym. They're at work. They're busy healing themselves, and they don't have any more time to be seeking out different people at bars or clubs or out in the streets, because that's not where they are. All right. If you are looking for one, find them at your local grocery store, find them at your local gym. All right. This is where they are because they are focused. They are tired of having women take advantage of them. They are tired of getting manipulated. And apparently they have all just dealt with a lot of narcissist people, and they're just sick of it. So they're not even willing to put themselves out there anymore because they're so hurt and they cannot get past certain traumas that they've dealt with. Now, I understand this, all right? And I think that's fair, but I think it's actually a really big problem that everyone's hiding, okay? Because if someone is wanting to connect, and if you want this stability or of emotional connection or mental connection, it's important to put yourself out there. And if you're constantly living in your past experiences, you're taking away so much from your present moment. So I truly understand we are all hurting. We are all still healing. I understand that it's scary to put yourself back out there, but if you're not doing so, you're just gonna stay where you are, and nothing that is meant for you is going to get to you because you are putting up this wall, staying your ass at home or hiding wherever you guys are, and you're not willing to receive what's meant for you. And I understand women do put these kind of men also in a friends list, in a friends category. And why do you think that is? Because those kind of women also are just not ready for that kind of relationship. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just a sign that that person who you wanted, and I'm speaking to the men right here, the person who you were interested in placed you in that friend category was simply just not for you. You will find your person, but the moment you do get placed into that friend category, keep it pushing, keep on trying. Don't necessarily give up just because that one woman who you wanted
did not give in to what you had to offer, because you are enough. You just were not enough for her. And maybe her level is actually down here, and your level, speaking to the men again, is up here. So maybe she just couldn't come up here with you. And that's the thing. Sometimes a man can perceive that as like he's down here and she's up here, when in all truth, it could be vice versa. All right. So if it's just not working out, it's just because you guys are just not on the same wavelength. But you are taking away a lot from your present moment, because you're not allowing yourself to experience new moments, because you're so focus on your past traumas, and it's so unfair. Like, I need y'all to be present, okay? Just be present and allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to meet, put yourself out there. It doesn't necessarily have to be out at the club or at the bars, because that's just not a vibe. But if you see someone, or if you feel like there's a possible connection with someone, like, make effort, okay? Because these women also do exist, and they're not gonna be out here knocking on doors, although it's tempting. Because you know, some actually do want a connection, but ain't nobody got time for that. All right, so put in some effort, let go of what no longer serves you, be in the present moment. All right, let it go, and allow yourself to receive what's meant for you. So on that note, I hope that you were able to take something from this. And if you have any thoughts, leave them in the comments. Peace.
You know what's crazy? She actually starts off with something most women never admit. The good men are out there. They're just done performing. They're at the gym, at work, at home, focused. And she's right about that part. A lot of men stop chasing. Not because they hate women, but because they're tired of being drained by people who confuse emotional connection with attention. But then, the tone shifts. Suddenly, it's about how men need to put themselves back out there, as if the solution is just to ignore the damage and go mingle again. See, that's the thing. Men did put themselves out there. They got burned, belittled, ghosted, and told they weren't enough. So now they're building something better than validation, peace, and she even admits it. Those same emotionally connected men usually end up in the friend zone. That right there proves the point. The men women claim they want, they don't actually choose. So yeah, maybe men are at home, quiet, unavailable. But it's not because they're afraid to receive love. It's because they finally realized not every connection deserves their energy.
Serious question, where are the men? I've been out and about all day, running errands, getting things done, and where are the men? Because everywhere I've been today, I've seen nothing but beautiful women left and right. Like, at least at every stop, I've seen 3 beautiful women done up, taken care of. They just look chef's kiss. But I have not seen not one attractive man being outside. Not one. And I'm like, Lord, where they at? It's 7 o'clock. I know they ain't at work. Because, you know, I'm always saying they just go to work, man. I even went to Home Depot today. Like, I didn't just go to Target. I went to Home Depot today. And Walmart and unisex stores. Like, places where there would be men and women. I'm just like, where are y'all? Anybody else? Because the more I'm outside, the more I see pretty women walking around. But it's like the ratio of pretty women and attractive men is not on the same level. Like, there's more gorgeous girls than there is gorgeous men, I guess. I don't know, but where they be at though? And not that I'm looking, because we don't chase, we attract, period. But it was just an observation. I ran so many errands today, city to city. Maybe God's keeping me in hiding. Nothing.
That's the thing. Women keep asking, where are all the men? But they're not realizing men stopped orbiting around them a long time ago. You're not seeing men outside because they don't need to be. They're not wasting gas, time, and energy trying to impress strangers who walk around declaring, we don't chase, we attract. You can't attract what isn't chasing in the first place. What's actually happening is simple. Men unplugged. They're in their garages, gyms, and home offices. They're not hanging around Target aisles hoping to bump into someone who thinks she's the prize. The dating market turned into a competition of attention, and men just opted out. Women are scanning the streets like it's a man drought. But the truth is, the good men are out of reach not because they disappeared, but because they stopped performing for people who don't value them unless it benefits them. So when she says, maybe God's keeping me hidden, maybe she's half right. Maybe God's keeping men hidden from the exact women who think standing around with lip gloss and an attitude is a personality.
I just have a general question. So, where are the good men? Is there like a warehouse where they're manufactured, where I could like go and like pick one out, like pay for it, buy, like take it home with me? Like, where are we finding these people? Because it like sure as hell is not on the apps. At least not for me. That's not where I'm finding them. This is just like a daily general wondering that I have. Just like, where are we finding the men that are like doing the work, healing themselves, healing past traumas, getting over their exes, that are like self-aware, kind, like general good humans? Where are they?
You want a good man warehouse? That's kind of the problem. A lot of women talk like men are products you can browse through, not actual people who build value over time. The truth is, the men you're looking for aren't sitting around waiting to be picked. They're working, grinding, and improving themselves quietly, not performing for attention online. You don't find good men on dating apps because good men usually aren't on them in the first place. You meet them when you stop treating dating like a marketplace and start living a life that naturally attracts the kind of man you say you want.
Where do single men between the ages of 28 and 40 go on Saturdays? And I don't mean like a specific restaurant or a specific location, I mean generally speaking. Are they at the gym? Are they at a bar watching football? Are they on a hike? Are they at home doing additional work? Are they at the driving range? Are they getting brunch with their friends? What does a 28 to 40-year-old single man's typical Saturday look like? Because I can tell you what a Saturday for a 28 to 40-year-old single woman looks like. As part of my like fall of outdoors, I'm trying to integrate experiences where I get to meet the male species. Every time that I've tried to do that, the places that I end up tend to be proliferated with 24-year-old men screaming at a television about football. For example, my Saturday looks like this. I wake up, I take my dog on a walk, I try to get in a gym class of some sort, Pilates, some kind of stretching class, I take a shower, make a cup of coffee, make my breakfast, and then I try and do about 2 hours of either work or personal like errands. And then from about 12 p.m. until approximately 5 p.m. I try and do something social with my friends. We'll go to a bar to watch a football game, go to the beach for the afternoon, whatnot. And then I typically stay in on Saturday night, order in DoorDash, watch a movie, have a glass of wine, and go to bed. What's the male equivalent of that? So I know where to find you guys during the period of 12 to 5.
You can almost hear the desperation behind that question. Where do single men between 28 and 40 go on Saturdays? The sad part? She genuinely can't find them anywhere. Women keep assuming men are still out doing what men used to do, being social, hanging out in groups, going to bars, meeting new people. But that's just not the world anymore. Men aren't outside because they stopped seeing the point. They're not at the gym flirting, not at the bar hoping to get noticed. They're at home, resting, gaming, watching a show, or just recharging, because the social reward system for men has completely collapsed. When she lists her day, it's all about structure, control, aesthetics. A lifestyle that looks great on paper, but leaves no room for genuine connection. Then she wonders why she only meets 24-year-old football bros screaming at a TV. It's because those are the only ones still playing the old game. Meanwhile, the men she actually wants to meet, they've withdrawn from public spaces entirely. They're done being the entertainment. They're not missing. They just stopped orbiting around female validation. That's all for today. Thanks for sticking around the entire video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more of these compilations. See you next time.